All right, here we go. Q&A. We got a lot of questions here. I'm going to start at the bottom, go right up to the top. All right. Favorite drummer? I don't have a favorite drummer. I've been doing this for so long. I've worshipped so many drummers. It's hard to pick one. I was a huge Slipknot fan, huge Pantera fan, huge Slayer fan, huge Metallica fan. My favorite new drummer is Pete Weber from Havoc. That guy is the man. Do you listen to or play black metal or brutal death metal, slam metal? We ever upload it? No, I don't. Do you like Primus? Oh yeah, good old Primus. Favorite music? Thrash metal. Where did you learn how to manage audio? I didn't. It's been years of trial and error, and you could argue I still don't know how. Because from what I understand, I don't follow any of the rules. I don't use overheads. I don't know anything about mic placement. I put a mic up and that's it. When did it all start with your drumming? Like, were you in high school band? No, I was not in high school band. I was in band in, I think, 6th grade, but I didn't want to, I just didn't want to do it. I was playing, Nirvana, Pantera, Slayer at home. I wasn't going to sit there and, do a simple snare line. Nothing against anybody in band. Good for you. You probably know more about drumming than I do. But I always just played drums. I tried to play along the songs I liked. And I started in 1992 when I was 10 years old. What made you want to start playing drums? My older brother is a guitarist. Music was always around when I was a kid. I liked watching him and his friends jam out. And I guess just, something told me that I should start practicing and trying how to do it. And I got pots and pans, and I had these hit sticks that were basically like, you could program them to make them sound like drums. Just started practicing and asked my parents for a drum set, and I got one on Christmas Eve in '92. And we went downstairs in the basement, and I set them up, and we played Iron Man, Enter Sandman. I think we played like a Who song or something. So that's where all that came from. Why did you start making videos, and do you feel like making videos has improved your drumming? Oh yeah. Before I made videos, I hardly played anymore. I just remember watching YouTube and seeing people playing drums and playing covers and stuff, and I thought, I could do that. Because I've always been good at playing other people's stuff. Since I've been doing it, I think I've gotten back to where I was as far as ability. But honestly, YouTube is like only time I play drums is what you see on YouTube, because it consumes all my free time. The question is, do you have any children? Yes, 2 boys, ages 5 and 10. Have you been to any concerts before? Yeah, I seen Pantera twice, seen Korn, Janet Jackson, the Ramones. Who else did I see? I see Metallica during the Reload tour. Saw Exodus, Fear Factory, Dream Theater. Opened up for Exodus. Opened up for Fear Factory, kind of. It was in the bar. I think that's about it. Is drumming your job? No. No, that would be nice, but no. What other music do you listen to besides heavy metal? Not much. I'll listen to the radio, well, whatever, But as far as actually listening to music voluntarily, it's heavy metal one way or the other. However, like 311, you can't really say they're metal. But he's probably one of the most, Chad Sexton of 311 is probably one of the most helpful drummers that I've listened to. He taught me a lot of details, ghost notes, just nuance. Growing up listening to Dave Lombardo and Lars Ulrich, it was just a lot of everything is full impact, fast double bass. 311 taught me a lot of dynamics. And I was such a huge fan of those guys. But yeah, your question, I basically just listen to metal. I've always been a metalhead. Are you ever going to a true double bass? Probably not. From people I've talked to, double bass is a pain in the ass to mic up and have a consistent sound out of. I know a lot of people that do have the true double bass. A lot of times they'll use a double bass pedal on one drum so you get the same tone. Otherwise you gotta deal with getting the tones right, all that shit. I hear it's a big pain in the ass. Either you have a double bass for show and you use a single double bass pedal on a single bass drum, or you gotta use triggers to have identical sound coming out of both. So I don't think I'm gonna ever go to that. And what songs did you play back then? Nirvana, Green Day, The Who. Those were big bands for me at the time. Basically, as I listened to music that I progressed along with. Nirvana is a great band to start out with. And I always recommend for anybody learning to play drums to play Nirvana songs, AC/DC songs. I never played AC/DC songs, but we all know it's just, anybody looking to play drums, my advice is don't learn how to read, don't go to a teacher. The most effective way, at least I think, to get good at drums is to play along to an album. Because first of all, you're gonna learn timing. You get to learn arrangements. You get to practice your transitions. It's one thing to sit there and take lessons how to do paradiddles and shit, and whatever. But you can do all that stuff while you're playing drums. Jam along to an album, and it practices your timing and your transitions and all that. And that's always my big advice. You start playing drums, just play along with stuff. 'Cause you learn more than just the basics when you do that. And I think that's probably one of my secrets to how I memorize all this stuff. It's because everything I've learned, I've been just stealing it from everybody I listen to. I pick up techniques along the way. Is this your full-time job? Your YouTube channel? No. I make maybe $50 a month. And you gotta keep in mind that I can't monetize any videos that have copyrighted material, which is basically 95% of my channel. The drum-only videos I can monetize. Videos like this I can monetize, but definitely not my full-time job. The question is, are you going to record some more Testament or Havoc stuff? Absolutely. I am going to do DOA Testament. I know I've had a lot of requests for that. I want to redo a lot of Havoc stuff now that I have the new setup. I'm kind of pissed at myself for doing Scumbag in Disguise already because I recorded in that shitty MP3 format. But, oh yeah. How old are you? Are you a car guy? If so, what is your favorite type of car? I am turning 33 on October 28th. Am I a car guy? No. I'm not much of any guy. I am so freaking stale. It's really hard to have a conversation with me because I don't watch sports, I don't hunt, I don't play video games, and I basically just eliminated 95% of the male population by saying that. But when I was 10, I started playing drums, and life basically stopped for me. Are you a self-taught drummer? Yes, sir. Everything I learned was just by playing along the albums. So you could say Dave Grohl taught me, Keith Moon taught me, Dave Lombardo taught me, Lars Ulrich taught me, Vinnie Paul taught me, Chad Sexton taught me. You could say a lot of people taught me, but I never took lessons. How did you meet your wife, girlfriend, assuming that your gorgeous self has one? Yeah. I've known my wife since kindergarten. She gave me a kiss the first day of school, and she had a thing for me ever since. If you're watching, hey babe. She probably isn't though. And I hope she isn't, because I don't like talking. I don't like her seeing me talk. That's why I have been waiting for so long. I'm waiting for her to get out of the house so I could mumble in front of the camera. Otherwise, I'm really self-conscious because I know she's somewhere else listening to me saying, "Oh my God." All right, but yeah, I've been with her for 13 years now. I've been married for 7, something like that. So, yes, I have a wife. If you're going trick-or-treating and you're dressed up as a drummer, which one would it be? And what candy would you get that you would refuse to share? Interesting question. I don't know if you could really dress up to be a drummer. I mean, the only ones I could think that have a signature look are like... first one that comes to mind would be Vinnie Paul. Just because, I could put the slits in my beard and I can wear the cowboy hat and boom. And what candy I refuse to share? Reese's. You ain't touching my fucking Reese's, man. You give me like a bag of those, I'll eat 30 of them. Do you have an all-time favorite band? No, I don't. I go through worship cycles. And you can argue I have a favorite band at the moment. Right now I don't, and I can't do that. And bands who inspired you so much to be a drummer. I would think, well, the first thing that really caught my attention was my brother playing the record of Decade of Aggression. I remember hearing like Hell Awaits, the beginning with the, hearing that. I thought that was awesome. And then hearing like the Angel of Death, where he stops and then does that. That was awesome. One from Metallica. I don't know. Those are one of my first memories of thinking, oh, drums are pretty freaking cool. That's basically what I think of. And I remember seeing Keith Moon being a freaking lunatic in The Who, and I thought he was a character. He was one of my first influences as well. Will you be doing anything from Cannibal Corpse or Children of Bodom in the near future? Maybe. I did Are You Dead Yet from Children of Bodom back in like my webcam days. It's almost not even worth watching. Playing is good, but it's just looks like shit. In the future, probably. In the near future, no. Favorite song to play on drums? Come on. I know 6,000 songs on drums. It's hard for me to pick. Are you gonna play Angel of Death? Boy, if I had a nickel every time I heard that. Yeah, I'll probably do it someday. You guys just want to see me fail, right? I know that's what it's all about. Why don't you want to play Limp Bizkit? Oh. How do you have so much control with your foot on bass pedals? I don't. There's so many people that are better than me with double bass. It's probably one of my biggest weaknesses. You might argue I can hide it pretty well, but I'm only good in like short bursts. Unless I really play for a long time, where your legs like loosen up, I can play decent long stretches of double bass. But yeah. Have you ever tried double bass with shoes on? If so, why don't you use shoes now? Yeah, I've played with them on before. I don't know. I don't like it. I like the feel of the double bass in my foot. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. Boss Staff or Lombardo? Lombardo, come on. Do you like Rush? If so, what is your favorite album? Yes, I like Rush. I don't have a favorite album. I actually never owned one. We're gonna do Subdivision someday. What do you think of Lars's live performance? You talking like now or back in the day? Honestly, like during the live shit '89 days, I think songs like Fade to Black and Bells, those are the actual representations of Metallica songs. I think they're so much better than the studio. But some things really bother me about what he does live with like songs like One. But I've always stuck up for Lars for the most part. I know he cheats a lot of shit now. He's pretty lazy. But he is one of the reasons I'm a drummer. And despite all the cheating and stuff that he does, there are a lot of signature stuff he does that I like. I mean, even if you listen to like Turn the Page, there's nothing technically hard about that song, but the choices he makes, I'm a Lars fan. He does have a lot of trademark stuff. I can bitch all you want about, he doesn't play double bass like he used to and all that, but something funny, if you ever look up him trying to play Shortest Straw on the Guitar Hero, oh man, alright, I could turn this into a half-hour bitch fest about Lars, even though I just said I always stick up for the guy, but I hate playing that guy's songs because he does not carve things in stone. Like a lot of the drum fills and stuff you hear on the albums, that's just what he felt like doing at the time. He does not care about them live. He does whatever the fuck he wants. Now watching him play Shortest Straw on that Guitar Hero, like they have all these nodes set up to him so they can track his body movements so they can use it for their video. He can't play it. It's because he is just doing whatever the fuck he wants when he was in the studio, and he doesn't carve anything in stone. It just bugs the shit out of me, and that's why a lot of times I don't play it completely accurate, because why try to honor something that the drummer doesn't honor himself? I'll just stop there. Okay. Whose drumming do you enjoy more, Joey Jordison or Jay Weinberg? Joey, of course. I think I really like the drumming on the Gray Chapter. He holds his own pretty well as far as playing all the old Slipknot stuff. Jay, that is. However, I've noticed he cheats on the double bass as well. Whenever those big bass runs, instead of being constant right after the snare, he takes a break. So it's like, which I'm pretty surprised that they grabbed somebody that can't do the double bass the way it should be. I mean, that's very important. But I mean, as far as live and keeping time and stuff and having energy, I think he does a really good job. That's my only gripe. I know, but I see it. I hear it. Anybody live in concert with a meet and greet, who would it be? It doesn't matter if they're dead or alive. I don't know. I'm not good with meet and greets. I've met musicians. I got to hang out with Pete Weber from Havoc before. That was cool, you know, because we got to sit and bullshit. You know, I don't have a good answer for that. I'm actually like pretty shy. If there is a meet and greet, obviously that comes with, you know, other people, you know, striving for their attention as well, and I don't like to do that. I don't want to come off, you know. Sorry for kind of dodging your answer. You transfer some Machine Head covers. Yeah, if you go on my collaborations playlist, I do Imperium with Thatcher Carlos. It turned out pretty good. But since so many people ask me, I think I might just redo it and, you know, put a full cover on my channel. Never really listened to Machine Head much though. But I don't listen to a lot of stuff. Can we get some Godsmack covers, please? I won't rule it out. What about Dyer's Eve makes you put it off? The double bass runs. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of fast double bass. It's more work than it is fun. It's impressive, but it's, you know, it's a lot of work. I will do it for 100,000 subscribers though. When I reach 100,000, that's going to be my Carolina Reaper test, so to say. Okay, so it'll happen sooner than I probably like. 'Cause I see I'm up to like 63,000 now, and you know I was at 7,000 last October. So you guys are all awesome. What do you do for work and fun outside of YouTube? Has anyone ever contacted you about being in their band? Like I said, I make cheese. As far as fun is, you know, you see what I do for fun. Like I said, I'm a pretty stale dude. If I'm not hanging out with my family, I'm in my basement making YouTube videos. There, that's my dog. Ugh. That's Ellie. What an ugly thing, eh? Has anybody contacted you about being in their band? Yes. I almost auditioned for Warbringer, but I bailed. You know, like I said, I'm married, I got a family. I can't be fucking leaving for 6-9 months out of the year. You know, who knows about money, you know, how that's gonna work. And like I said, I'm actually a pretty shy dude. I remember playing, when I played concerts and stuff, I never get stage fright. But I always hated before the show. You know, I'm not good with mingling. Once I get on stage, you know, my mouth doesn't screw anything up. You know, the drums do the talking. I don't know, but yes, I have been contacted by a band before. I've been contacted by a few, but I know Warbringer was the big one, and I voluntarily declined. Do you do any session work? Are you in a band, or is drumming just a hobby? I've done some session work. I am in a band called Tired of Counting. It's more of a project, which we don't have much time to do. Like I said, it's just, I like playing drums on YouTube. I get to live my normal life, and you know, I'm passionate about making YouTube videos, and I love interacting with, you know, everybody in the comment sections, and I don't know, that's good enough for me. But yeah, drumming is basically just a hobby. What's up? Not much. I was thinking about setting my basement up for a jam session room, and I wanted to ask what type of PA should I use? I don't know, man. Just get yourself a mixer and get a PA. I don't have much knowledge or experience with that. What did your first drum set consist of, and how old were you when you started playing? Like I said, I was 10, and my first drum set was a Percussion Plus, and I had camber cymbals, and it was just horrible. And fun fact, I wanted to learn how to play double bass and didn't have a double bass pedal, but I had 2 bass pedals. So I nailed another single pedal to a board, and I slid it under the bass drum right next to the pedal that was clamped on. And I'd have to play drums like this. I'd have my snare here, my hi-hat over here, and I had to play double bass. So by the time I actually got my first double bass pedal, I was spoiled because, you know, I had to deal with this garbage for so long. And, you know, I was actually starting to get good at that. So once I actually got to play it normal, it was a big help. How long do you last with your drumsticks? It varies. I mean, they might break, you know, anywhere from a few times playing to, you know, they could last months. If you were to tour with any band of your choice, who would it be? Metallica. Would you consider doing a medley for a new Lamb of God album in the near future? Possibly. Haven't heard it yet. Well, I heard some songs, but any medleys I make, I gotta have like intimate knowledge of the whole album, you know. But I won't rule it out. It won't be anytime soon though. I do have one already made for Ashes of the Wake, but I haven't done it yet. What program did you use to create your medleys? I use Reaper, Google Reaper. It's awesome. What's your opinion on Australia? I don't have one. Nothing against them. Never read any comment sections of Stevie T's version of Mario Brothers that you don't like blasting. Why is that? I've never got into blasting. I don't know. I guess it was always just, you know, like I used to listen to Morbid Angel and think, wow, that's really fast. But I always liked their slower stuff anyways. And once the blasting came, my head quit bobbing. And, you know, I like a pocket. You know, I just never got into blasting. Are you a Green Bay Packers fan? Not a football fan. I would love to hear you play more Despise Icon. Maybe MVP? If only. I would love to play Despise Icon. He's one of my favorite extreme drummers. That dude is awesome. But I can't play that shit, man. It's nuts. Maybe look to Alex Rudinger, because he's really good at that kind of stuff. Do you have a band? Could you do instructional videos as well? Yes, Tired of Counting is my band, and I do have a couple tutorials, and I should do instructional videos. Why are so many musicians setting up a GoFundMe? I mean, I've never asked for money donations as a musician in my life. I've earned the money and bought the equipment myself. Well, you know, I make $35,000 a year. But keep in mind, I have a mortgage, car payments, 2 children, now 2 dogs. You know, I make $3,000 a month. We have $2,500 in bills a month. You know, I think my family comes before me spending, you know, $1,000 on freaking music equipment. I used to buy my own stuff, and a lot of it I still do. However, I can't speak for any other musicians with their GoFundMes, but you know, all the money I do get is greatly appreciated. I don't waste it. I don't spend it on other stuff. Like, for example, when I got all this money for the video equipment, you know how tempting it was to pay the plumber with that money? I mean, we didn't have $500 to give to the plumber. I didn't use any donation money to pay for that. Okay. All the money I do get, it goes to what I say it goes to. I couldn't, I have a conscience. Do you have a specific method on developing speed? No, not really. How'd you get so fast on the double kick? Just years of practice. And I could argue that I'm not that fast yet. What do you use to mount your two or three toms, your 10 and your 12? The 10 is mounted to my cymbal stand and 12 is mounted to the bass drum. Is there a way to record drums with no computer? Yes. You can buy a digital recorder with a CD burner in it. Basically, get yourself a mixer, the mics you need, and you record right into it. And you can mix it all down and burn a CD. But honestly, I would think the computer is a lot more easier. It'll save you money because you can buy a recorder for a couple $100, even less, and send those files over the computer and have MP3s at your disposal. You should start doing vocal covers, Josh. How would you explain your double bass foot technique? I don't know. I figured I would no one would ask that question anymore once they saw my feet. But now that people ask what technique I use, I'm so confused because I always just said like heels up. But I don't know. I've never thought about it. I just kind of play. I don't know. I keep my heels up, and you see, I'm making a review video for the Eliminator pedal I just got, and I show that like on the bass, on the pedal itself. I usually keep my foot like right here. It might be a little higher on the other one unless I'm going fast. I keep it down low. But I don't know how to answer that really. Double bass is a big pain in the ass to me. It just takes a lot of practice and just lots of practice. Start slow and make sure you're accurate. Make sure your leading foot is locked in where it's supposed to be. Balance has a lot to do with it. You got to keep your balance because if your body isn't feeling right, it isn't balanced out with whatever your hands are doing, that's where you lose it. And I've noticed that I can play a certain speed easily depending on the drum beat that I'm using, how my hands are going. There's just some things that feel better than others regardless of the speed. These are things you just gotta work on yourself. Well, it looks like it's about it. If I missed your question, I'm sorry. This was a really long video. There was hundreds of questions. I think I got almost all of them. I skipped a few that asked the same thing I already answered. But thank you all. I appreciate every one of you watching my videos. This is, like I said, this is the one thing I do for fun. I really enjoy it. I thank you all for the support very much. All right. Later.